Now you just can't leave.
All right, Harry Mack here, as always, with the Bookies Basement. We're joined by a very special guest this week, Amanda Leve, the newest PFL featherweight, two-time IBJJF champion, ADCC champion, perhaps the most well-credentialed grappler on the PFL roster. Amanda, how we doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a pleasure to have you on here, PFL's newest featherweight. So I guess just jumping right into it. Let's start with the Challenger Series. You had your bout there. Won a nice decision, and it gets to the end. It's you and Michelle Montague as far as who's going to get the PFL contract. How confident were you in that moment once all the voting was happening that you were going to walk away with a contract?
So it wasn't really necessarily that I was confident. Like, it's funny because I didn't really have a feeling like, oh man, I really want it, or I don't think I'm going to get it. Like, none of that. It was more of just like after my fight, it happened so quickly. I just got done like a 15-minute fight, like a war with my opponent, and then we hopped right into that thing. But I was so accomplished that I just won my fight that I didn't really have time to process like the whole contract and everything like that. So I was so happy to get the contract, and to be honest, I think it's really well deserved just because I felt like I had the toughest opponent overall in the whole card. So I was very happy with the decision.
Got it. And so overall, how did you enjoy the format of the Challenger Series? I know it's very, very different than ways most people have competed in combat sports.
Well, I really like it because it just it makes you want to go out there and win. So I feel like everybody's a little bit more game. And I also just like it too because there's only 4 fights on the card, and then it's over. So they get the stuff done, you get moving, you get fighting, and you're out of there. So that was cool.
There you go. And so last year you had actually made your PFL debut in a showcase bout at 155, battled through some adversity, got knocked down in that fight, but came back to win by submission. So did you feel more comfortable coming in at 145 than 55, or is there any preference there? Or I don't know. Just tell me about that change.
Yeah, so I definitely was eating like way more steak for 155. But the 145 cut is easy for me, and it's also just I think a better weight for me. I know the 155 division, like the girls were really tall. A lot of them were coming down from a heavier weight, so I walk around pretty much at 155, 160. So getting down to 145 isn't a challenge for me, and that's where I would prefer to fight anyway.
Got it. Well, all worked out in that case, I guess.
Yep, it was perfect.
And so, you're still incredibly young in the fight game, only 26 years old, and already so accomplished in jiu-jitsu and in grappling. So I feel like I would be remiss in my duties if I didn't ask you. Obviously there's plenty of accomplishments, plenty of achievements down the road and in front of you, but where does beating Gabi Garcia in a jiu-jitsu match rank for you in terms of all-time achievements for Amanda Leve?
It's definitely like top 1 or 2. I mean, it's really hard to beat just because that crowd was so into it too. So it was like the crowd was almost deafening after I won. So just having that feeling of the crowd backing you and wanting you to win so badly, and then putting on such a great performance. I always say, I wish I could just relive that moment of me winning over and over again.
Oh, there you go. And so I guess so. Now that you've kind of made the transition to MMA full time, do you plan on still competing in submission grappling or jiu-jitsu, or I know there's a lot of promotions out there now doing kind of you got Polaris and Fury Grappling based in Philly where you're at. So yeah, I guess are you planning to still compete in jiu-jitsu?
Probably not. I mean, if they offered me good money, I definitely would do it.
There you go.
But I'm probably not, just because I feel like MMA grappling is so different than jiu-jitsu grappling, and I kind of noticed already my habits are starting to change, even just in this short couple months of getting ready for an MMA fight. They're bad habits for jiu-jitsu, but not necessarily bad habits for MMA. So
Right.
It's just a different style of jiu-jitsu. And then you get so many special, so many people that just focus solely on jiu-jitsu. It's hard to match that.
Right. Yeah, it's just different types of competition.
Exactly. Yep.
And so what first inspired you to take up jiu-jitsu?
So my dad would always watch the UFC, and they got my brother into it originally, and then they saw him doing push-ups, and I was an active kid, so they're like, "Oh man, Amanda would be great at this." And then I took my first class, and I just stuck with it ever since.
No, there you go. I'd say it works. It's worked out pretty well for you.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I know you're a little bigger than she is, but it's always fun to play these hypotheticals and all of that. So hypothetically, we book a super fight, grappling super fight, you and Danielle Kelly at one championship, two Philly gals, two incredibly well-credentialed jiu-jitsu practitioners. How does that one go?
I don't know. Danielle's very, very talented. I never bet against myself, but we're actually friends. So we grew up, competing. We actually competing against each other. So she actually beat me my first match ever in jiu-jitsu. I don't even know if she remembers it. She beat me in 15 seconds, and I cried and wanted to get home. And then my dad begged me to stay for one more, and then I won my next one, and I just love the feeling of getting my hand raised ever since. So yeah. So I don't know. Well, I mean, again, I just want to bet against myself, but Danielle's awesome, and I do enjoy training with her.
There you go. So you guys still roll together from time to time?
Yeah. Every once in a while, I get to train with her.
Oh, there you go. I would certainly love to be a fly on the wall in the gym for those rounds.
Yes.
And so now that we're gearing up for the PFL regular season, Challenger Series is behind us. Are there any opponents that you have in mind, or how would you like to start your PFL tenure?
I definitely want a chance at Aspen Ladd just because she's coming from the UFC and she has that name. I think I would stylistically match up pretty well against her. But honestly, I'm just down to scrap with anybody. Whoever they put in front of me, I'm ready to go.
There you go. And so what would it mean? What would it mean to you to win that kind of the inaugural PFL women's featherweight season, and of course the accompanying $1 million?
Oh my gosh, it would be the best feeling ever. I'm win the $1 million, get a nice house. So I'm in school right now for nursing. So and then I waitress too. So it would be cool just to have the $1 million to start,
not have to wear so many hats.
Yes.
There you go. And so obviously, Philly gal, I have to ask, what's the best cheesesteak in Philly, and why is it John's roast pork?
So I actually haven't had that one yet. The line is always so ridiculous.
I'm the New York guy, and I've had John's roast pork.
Do you love it?
It was fantastic. I got one of my closest friends lives right in the burbs in Philly there. So anytime I go up there, we've done Steve's, we've done John's roast pork, we've done most of the non-tourist trap good ones.
Yeah, I got you. Have you hit Angelo's yet?
No, but I've heard fantastic things.
Yep, they're good. I have a place in Northeast Philly called Cafe Carmela's, and that's an outstanding cheesesteak. So that's definitely me and my boyfriend's go-to.
There you go. And so, Amanda, I get this is a weird question, and I'll couch it with the fact that I am Jewish, but are you Jewish?
No, I'm not. I get asked that all the time, though. It's funny you said that.
Gotcha. It must be the name.
Yeah, the last name. Yep.
Yeah. I feel like I know a lot of Jewish Leaves or Levies or whatever it may be. But all right, well then I can scratch that question there. But all right, I'm looking over my notes here, Amanda, and I think I hit on just about everything that I had for you. So is there anything you want to plug before I let you go?
I just want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Earth Fed Muscle. Check them out. They have great products and they're super clean. They were literally started because they wanted, the best supplements for their athletes, and they give me the best supplements ever. So I appreciate them.
There you go. And where can people find you on social?
At Amanda Leve _MMA.
All right, simple enough. Well, Amanda, thank you so much for your time. I really can't wait to see you competing in the PFL this season, and hopefully we'll see you get your hand raised there.
Awesome. You plan on it. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, have a fantastic weekend, and thank you again.
You too. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Great success.